Hello and welcome back. In the last lecture, we got this filter by category checkbox component rendered on the UI. The next thing is to build some event handling into this component. What I mean by that is that whenever we check this, the server has to, essentially the UI has to reach out to the server and get the corresponding dishes displayed on the UI. Okay, so let's build that functionality in this particular session. And in here, I'm going to go over to checkbox to group.js. I'm going to close the others, and over here what I'm going to do here is I'm going to maintain a state for these selected categories. Okay, so let's go ahead and import the useState hook from React, and in here I'm going to maintain a array of selected categories. Okay, and I'm going to say selected. I'm going to call them selected, comma set selected. Okay, and this is going to be useState and with a initialized to an array, empty array, right? And I'm going to head over to the input element here, and I'm going to supply a onChange property here. Okay, right after the class name here. OnChange, we're going to call a method here, and that's going to be our function. We're going to call that handle selected, and this is going to get the category ID as the input, right? So we already have the category here, and we're just going to pass that here, right? Category dot underscore ID. All right, super. But we don't have this defined, and we're going to go ahead and define that. I think we also need to provide the value for this in main to indicate if it's checked or not, right? Alright, so I think we'll just for now give it a value of essentially blank, yeah, like so, and we'll figure out what needs to get in there. So let's go ahead and define this new method here. Let's say const handle selected get a category ID, right? And what I'm going to do here is essentially I'm going to check whether the category is already in the array. If it's already selected, then I want to know that. If it's already selected, I want to essentially deselect that. Otherwise, I want to go ahead and put it in the selected array. Alright, so how can we do that? So what I'm going to say is const already selected. I'm going to have a variable that says if it's already selected, and I'm going to go into the selected array, and I'm going to check whether it has this content with the category ID that's being passed here. Okay, so the way I'm going to say it here is I'm going to ask if I'm going to look for the index of that particular category ID. Okay, so I'm going to say index of category. Okay, super, and then I'm going to essentially make a copy of this array, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say const new selected array is equal to, I'm going to use the spread operator and use the selected array here. Okay, super. And then now I'm going to check if this already selected is not equal to -1. If it is -1, then it means that it's not selected. If it is not equal to -1, which means it actually found an index inside of this array for this particular category. Okay, so let's see if already selected, already selected is not equal to -1. Okay, I'm going to say double. Yeah, that's better. Not equal to -1. Okay, which means it's already selected. We need to deselect this, right? So I'm going to use the new selected array, and I'm going to use the splice functionality here. Already selected, yeah, and 1, yeah. Already selected and 1, yeah. So I'm going to splice, essentially get rid of that category from the selected array. otherwise, else, and follow me too. We're going to push this category to the selected array. Yeah, I'm going to say new selected array, that push category. Yeah, and then we'll set the selected array, set selected to the new selected array. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, so that's how we're going to maintain the state here. Okay, and another thing that we want to do is every time we actually click this, right, we want a method to be triggered which essentially invokes the backend API for us, right? So let's see how we can go about doing that. I will go over to the browse component here. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking in the wrong place, not the browse car. It's the browse component itself. It's a catalog.js, sorry about that. Inside of here, I need to pass in something, some prop here. I'll just say handle filtering, and I'm going to call this, let's name this as get filter dishes. Yeah. Okay. And I need to go ahead and create this method now. Okay. I'm going to say const get filtered dishes as a pointer. We would need the categories array here, right? So let's say call the categories. This is going to be an arrow function, and let's first actually console all the categories here before we essentially make the API call. Okay, and I think that's about it. So we are actually passing that to the checkbox group, and let's go inside the checkbox group now. Take this as a, let me save this actually. Go ahead and save this. Go inside here, get this as a prop. Okay, it has to be handle filtering, not this one. Handle filtering, yeah, that's the one. And after doing this, what we can do is we can call handle filtering, and we can pass it the selected array. Okay, or the new selected array. Okay, super. Alright, so we can test this now. Head over to the UI. I'm going to enable the console. Let's see what happens here. So the categories object is coming as null here right now. As soon as I check that, and let me go ahead and check this. Yeah, we're getting a category. If I do this, I get 2 categories. If I do this, I get 3 categories. Super, this is working fine. Okay, now we can actually go ahead and send these categories IDs over to our API, which will then fetch us the new dishes, right? So let's go ahead and do that. And inside of our editor, right, let's head over to the catalog here, catalog component. And I think we already have the get filtered dishes here in the dish API. Don't think so. Okay, so in that case we may have to have that, right? I'm going to introduce another function, and I'm going to call that port const get filtered dish list. Okay, and this is going to be an async method, an arrow function of that. And again, I need to pass in the categories here. It's going to be the categories, and it's going to have a empty array by default. Okay, I'm going to say const search filters, and that's going to be the criteria. I'm just going to say search filters. It's going to be an object that says categories. We'll have a try catch block, and inside here I'm going to say const result is equal to await axios.get API /dishes. Okay, and I think if I recall correctly, it has to be search something. Let's see, actually dish routes here, dishes category underscore search. I'm going to copy this here so we don't make any mistakes. API, category, and search. Actually, interestingly, that was the wrong name if you ask me, because I think it should be dishes search, right? This is actually incorrect. Let's head over here. It should actually be dishes underscore search. Dishes, and again in category, because it's based in category, so I think we'll name it this way for now. This is going to be dishes and search and based in category. Okay, so let's go over here and paste that in. Put it in here. Yeah, that should be good. This is actually a post, by the way. It's not a get. It can trip us out at times. And then we're gonna send the filters, search filters. I think that's about it. So essentially, we should be good here. Okay, and then we just return the result. Okay, and in case of error, standard process, we're gonna essentially log the error, Control-Alt-L, throw it back to the car. So let's head over to the catalog.js component, and in here I'm going to say from the API dish, I'm going to say get filtered dish list. Is that correct? Filter list, filter dish list. I'm not sure. Let me go ahead and check that one more time. I think it's dish. You don't want the additional E there. Okay, let's save this. Go back here. Correct that. Okay, so we have this in here, and what we can do here is inside of, okay, I think we might be heading for a name conflict here, unfortunately. Was it? Okay, we may have to, yeah, this is actually get filter dishes. Okay, super. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have another try catch block. Okay, try catch, and in here I'm going to say filtered dishes. I'll just say maybe just the result, because we're going to have this as state name. So I'm going to say result is equal to wait. Okay, get filtered dishes here. Super, and this has to be async, by the way. Alright, and then I'm also going to maintain the state for the filter dishes. Okay, let's see. I'm going to say const. Just copy this, otherwise. Here, I'm going to say filter dishes and set dishes here. That's right. Super. Go ahead and set filter dishes, and that's going to be set to the result.data object. Okay. All right. So we're looking good here, and in here, what I'm going to do here is if error.response is present, I'm just going to say console log of error.response.data, right? That's what we want to do. For default, get dishes as well, yeah. Display dishes, and yeah, in the init. Yeah, it's response.data.error, okay? Let's go ahead. Okay, so this should do it for now. So if I go ahead and essentially, re-render this, right? Oh man, there is a problem here right now. Okay, we are not seeing the key. I think the catalog, we have to essentially introduce that key. That will do that. Each child should have a key. Understandable, that's a warning, and we need to take care of that. And I think we also need to call we need to have another display dishes for the filter dishes. That way, right? They also get displayed here. I think we'll take a pause here. This has been a long video, and then we'll come back and then complete that particular bit, okay? And I think after that, we will have a few other housekeeping stuff as well to be done. So, including the key aspect of it here. I think let's take a pause here, come back soon, and then complete the filtering functionality.